Are you in a toxic relationship that just feels like you can't shake it off? It's like you wonder if you're just a glutton for punishment and you keep going back over and over again and you just are sick of yourself and the whole experience? Well, this could very well be a karmic relationship, but it's important to understand what kind of karmic relationship, and more importantly, how can I get the heck out of it and move on to the kind of relationships that leave me feeling good? Hi, I'm Sonia Choquette. I am a spiritual teacher and an intuitive guide dedicated to empowering you, giving you back your intuitive intelligence because it's the missing piece, the key to your well-being. If you're new to my channel, I'm excited you're here. I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, hit the notification bell so when I do something new, you'll be alerted. And if you love it, subscribe. In the meantime, let's get on to the point at hand. Karmic relationships. There are a lot of karmic relationships. Now, let's start with the word karmic because that sounds ominous, right? And it almost feels like a payback relationship or a I have no choice relationship. And certainly if you are in such a relationship, it can feel like that, but it's not true. That's not what it means. The word means to learn. So when you're in a karmic relationship, there's something important that you have to learn. And usually with these kinds of relationships, it takes a lot of pain before you learn. So when you are in a relationship that just keeps you bonded in trauma and keeps you stuck going back over and over again, hoping you're going to get a different result, you have to recognize there is something here I need to learn. What on earth could that be? So one of the first things you might want to learn is that self-love is the basis for any good relationship. That's a tough one because especially if you were raised to believe if I work hard enough and clean the house enough like Cinderella, the prince will come. And all of a sudden it starts to occur to you, well, that certainly was a lie. I'm not getting any prince. I'm just getting another frog. And I am busting my back and my butt for nothing. So we have to learn that the information we were given about fantasy relationships and people kind of making everything better for us isn't real. And that self-love, that is what we have to learn. Self-love. And in a way that's not just lip service, like truly, like Buddha says, you deserve as much as anyone else on this planet your love, your respect, your appreciation and kindness. So is that the lesson you have to learn? Because if you are being committed to self-love, you're not going to stay in a karmic relationship that is abusive or toxic or hurtful. You're just not. I know that it's not an easy lesson. It's certainly one I had to learn. I was in a very long toxic karmic relationship that just always I kept going back to and hoping it would be better if I gave more, tried harder, did more, was more generous. This is something that we are taught, but it is a lie. What we need to do is step back, take a breath, and ask yourself, what all this energy I'm doing to try to get love from others, what if I gave even 50% of that effort or 10 to myself and started loving myself? Wonder what that would do with my life. I wonder how that would change things. So that's one thing to learn. Maybe you have another lesson to learn. Maybe the lesson is to not be controlling. That's a karmic relationship. You know, we don't just have them with partners. We have them with parents. We have them with children. And we have them with friends. So a karmic relationship is, why do I keep going back into this and having an awful experience? That means something. We have to learn something here. Maybe you have a karmic relationship with a controlling parent who just really guilt trips you for not doing what they want and doing what you want. Now the lesson is to individuate and grow up and say, love you very much, but this is my life and I have a right to it, and take your power back and your authority without being aggressive or cruel or mean, but just saying, thank you for being my parent. Thank you for everything you've done, but you don't own me. and I get to be my own person, and I will assume full responsibility for myself going along with that. I've noticed a tremendous amount of karmic relationships are between parents and their children. So if you're tired of doing what your parents want or you're afraid to be real with them, that could be a karmic relationship. There is no genuine relationship if you're not real with them. So maybe the lesson is to learn to withstand someone else's disapproval and still love them and still love yourself, but not be responsible for their reactions or their emotions. That's another very big lesson. And we have to take it in bite sizes. It's one thing to learn intellectually what the lesson is, but then there's another thing to get into the ring and really embody the lesson so that you can stay peaceful and grounded and at ease and connected, ideally. Maybe the karmic relationship is to take more responsibility for yourself. Maybe you are secretly hoping someone else, under the kind of the umbrella of love, is that you want someone to kind of be your surrogate parent and do everything for you. It's hard to admit, but a lot of people really do want someone else to take care of them, nurture them, pay their bills, make all the difficult decisions, and they get to just cruise along like a child. Now, those kind of karmic relationships are ultimately very disempowering, and you feel frustrated and you get manipulative, wanting and trying to get stuff out of people to assume responsibility. If you're in that kind of a karmic relationship, you might be a drama queen or a tantrum thrower, or you might be the giver. You might be the one who's saying, okay, I'm going to just give and give and give and give to you, and you're going to need me so that I will always feel empowered and validated, in which case the end result of that is, what a thankless person, because as much as I give, they're still not letting me own them. So as you can see, relationships are our spiritual school. And if you really want to know the truth, most all relationships are karmic, in that there's an opportunity to learn in every single one of them. But maybe we can learn new things, like being with people who are uplifting and being with people who are generous without being controlling and who affirm me in an honest and unmanipulative way are the kind of relationships I want to create and will create. Maybe we can learn to have healthy relationships, starting with, I love myself. I really do. And I can't agree to or participate in behaviors that hurt me or blame anyone else for it. Maybe it's time for that. The interesting thing is our planet is really asking us all of us, nobody gets to be an exception, to grow. And if we do, in spite of the chaos going around us, your own life will get a lot better quickly. It's almost shocking how quickly your life improves when you decide, okay, I'm not going to give lip service to this lesson anymore. I'm actually going to learn it, embody it, and change my behavior. And I'm not going to try to change someone else. This is another key example of a karmic relationship, is you exhaust yourself trying to change someone else. You talk to them, scream at them, manipulate them, overgive, undergive, throw tantrums, cry, withhold, shut down. They don't change. You just wipe yourself out. So if you want to free yourself from karmic relationships or enter relationships that are karmically positive experiences, beneficial, beautiful, they're not punishment or payback, they're gorgeous surprises, just start with the first lesson. I'm going to love myself. And I'm going to love myself not through words, but through the choices I make, through the daily specific choices I make. I'm going to learn to take responsibility and make good choices for my body. I'm not going to drug myself, drink myself to death. I'm not going to push myself over the limits. I'm not going to stress myself to the max. I'm not going to do too much, go too hard, and then collapse feeling sorry for myself. I'm going to stop. Maybe the lesson is stop. taking care of the world and start taking care of yourself. Well, no matter what the lesson is, every which way you turn, it's going to be in your face. So the key is this. Agree to learn the lesson, but I want to give you a bonus special surprise. If you agree and you truly are willing, you can ask your higher self, your angels, and your spirit guides to help you. And they will. All of a sudden, what seems like an insurmountable problem of your life will get easier and easier. And you know what? You'll just snap out of it. It's almost like coming out of hypnosis or something. You'll start to feel very differently about life, about yourself, and about what is possible. So I invite you to revisit your karmic relationships with fresh eyes. Not, why is this happening to me, suffer and struggle? And believe me, I've been there for years. But why is this happening? What am I to learn here? And am I willing to learn it? Because if you are, then ask your angels, guides, and higher self to help you. Ask the universe, ask your creator, help me. Help me. You can get tutors, you can get helpers, you get support. And what will shock you is how quickly your life will change and improve once you agree to let go of what isn't working and learn through your choices and behaviors what will. All my love, thanks for tuning in. And again, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this conversation, hit the notification bell so you won't miss a future one. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing. All my love. See you again soon. Bye.